That explains the damage out of nowhere. I was like, why would I die? Why would I die? And now I have my answer. Oh, this is a fucking decent answer.
That was a bombing surprising team. Ronaldo traded defense options strengthens.
Take that. That. Okay, yeah, he's coming this way. Oh yeah, I don't have access to that. I might as well drink this because fuck it. You didn't drop anything good. Ah, this fucking place. Okay, late moon, full moon, half moon, anything like that. That's a lot. At least that way is nothing. Don't feel like doing enough dragon. You motherfucking kidding me? I remember that shit. No, I'm watching a guy before I continue on right here. Oh, Lord.
But at the same time, you know, if you pick up something and you set it for stat, oh boy, did not take friendly with that. Did you just kill himself for us? I think you did. Oh, yes, he did. So I was going to try to push him off. I didn't think he would try to attack and just run straight off, but that is funny. That was not planned, but I do like that strategy more. That is making him run off. Alright, so we got the full moon grass. You can actually get you can get a nice shield and a spear off that guy as well. I wouldn't consider it necessary. We're going to actually get both of those items that we can farm off him a little bit later, just progressing through the level. But man, that was a pretty entertaining suicide.
Okay.
The strategy is to just circle around him and try and backstab, but if he hits you twice, you're dead. There's certainly something. Anyway, we're going to wrap things up right here for now. This seems a pretty good spot. In the next episode, we're going to continue through and finish up all 1-1, also known as the Gates of Japan. But for now, we're going to wrap things up. We're going to aim to keep these between 20 and 30 minutes, kind of just like a nice consistent play. So either way, thanks for tuning on in. If you have any particular questions about getting started in the game, see you guys soon. We have a quest with the Strava right down there, but hold off on that for now. First, you want to roll through this, get up and kill this guy before we have a couple more enemies up ahead that we're going to fight. If you're paying attention, I am using spacing to my advantage a lot. These guys are a little bit goofy if I can get them Oh, didn't work. Anyway, kill those three. I was hoping to roll them all into the exposed. Yeah, work through here. So Dreadwing has some consumables if you're low on grass, fire bombs if you're low on that. If you want to take a long sword. The second zone actually, he's gonna have the Claymore. The Claymore is a great weapon. It costs 6,000, so keep that in mind if you want the Claymore. So I'd save him now, because we're at 3,000.
Push them into that.
Great stuff. So next episode, right after we're through this zone. Now, the way the Keyframe works is it decreases the radius that enemies can attack, and especially when using a bow, this is incredibly powerful because we're able to choose multiple enemies with a bow. Certain enemies were able to still stay out of the radius. Telescope, which you can use to like zoom in on stuff. And now I want to kill enough stuff that. Now, if you're trying to do, basically when Estrada dies, whether from enemies or anything else, you can drop the Mausoleum Key. The Mausoleum Key is used to access that area that was right by the Red Knight that we fought. There is a mini boss in there that fight to get access. Weapons called Northern Regalia, and there are two parts to that. So we're going to go this way, this way. But anyway, I wouldn't worry about it until later. We're going to be going through all of the and make sure you have some fire bombs ready for this next one. Kill most of those dregs.
I far more prefer Iron Discovery over the Health Increase, but I have the ring that lets me.
Basically, he's just going to path around this area and fight himself until it's either all dead or he's dead. So that's why I'm kind of keeping pace with him, going a little bit ahead of him, and just taking out the enemies. Right here, this is pretty much the same. It's not just past this. If you want, you can go over here. Come on. There we go.
I will buy more of the green grass from him. More grass for me. Better killing guy.
I'm going to head up this way. A couple more baddies to fight and some loot. This right here is the path where we killed those three guys earlier, just to kind of hold us all together here in the event that you die. Top, we got one more baddie and I'll be done. Hi. We are Woodruff.
It makes you want to move.
Real sound will have to
You die with him. So good. And this right here is a trap. So what we want to do is get right here in this corner, and we are going to And then you can see the rocks are just going to kill everything that would have been in our way here. So make sure we want to take that crossbow back off. You don't want it putting your weight over capacity. Consider this way. See the dragon. The game calls it a blue dragon, but many people will say it's right legs. Come on, boys. Come inflict me. Right. So, this next part.
What? If you want Thomas, then get your ass in here. I'm busy being overpowered.
Oh, it's getting easy, huh?
I literally just
He
did that
didn't
thing.
even kill him.
I didn't even plan on that killing him. I just wanted to fucking hear him scream.
You said you're being overpowered.
That
Are
is
you going
being
with us
overpowered.
tomorrow?
To where?
Lexington.
Why would I be going?
You help your mother?
Fuck off. Can't. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's the thing, though.
I never did this in the first Dark Souls. The first
There's
Demon
all
Souls.
over there.
No, I never did this in the first version of Demon Souls.
I did.
Because I didn't know about it. I just went through it normally.
I'll let you figure it out.
Wow, that saved me time having to fucking clear these fuckers out.
We're going to chill this area over here, grab a couple items, and then we're going to sprint past the dragon. Then we have now, there's a bunch of chickens in the city. I know you're probably like, this stuff now. There's a trick where you can lure the red one over to the bridge that we're about to run across. And then after that, you can run back over here and grab stuff very quickly. But instead, if we just get this world to pure white, the dragons will disappear. And we're going to have the world to pure white within, like, minutes.
Motherfucker. Yes. At least that still works.
So it's really not worth it. Just, don't get torched. Just have a little bit of patience. There's some really good stuff there. There's a ring that's this game's equivalent of the Habits ring. It'll boost your equipment load by about 50%. We're not going to worry about it for now. So up ahead, get ready, and we're going to sprint.
Ring of the
Sprint through this as fast as you can. Try and time your rolls. Oh no! No, we made it. Hit this lever. Open the gate to the boss box area.
How did they all survive the dragon? How did they all survive the dragon? That actually hurts my brain.
No, we made it. As you can see, this guy is now going to run and torch anything that lives. I'm going to worry about the loot on the bridge. It's from something dying. It ain't worth it. Bridge. Okay. That's going to open the gate to the boss box area.
He's not necessary, so I'm not gonna fuck him. I need to look at the description of this item. Only downside to using this weapon is sometimes you miss your damn shot. Okay. don't like that. I never have liked that. Why am I not surprised? Well, I have access to the boss room now, so I'm not going to want to go in there yet. I will kill you so I don't have to later. Attack power. Reduction. This thing's gonna break eventually. That ain't good. I'll believe this thing doesn't break. Get past that while I'm doing this, or get break. At least keep durable until a boss is over, because I need this for a boss fight.
No matter how far I venture, only the sun stars remain. Is there a single sane person left in Volataria?
Holding on to all the others is more important than holding on to this. Basically, you're saving these up for... I have so many half moons, it's fucking crazy. Wonder what the dragon didn't come across this time. Meh. I shouldn't be concerned with it. They kept the dragon off me, so... Take what you can get. Must be at max health that I can't get to it. Purple flame shield. That seems the most cool shield I've seen. If that does that much damage one-handed, I wonder how much damage this thing's gonna fucking do to the boss. That shield's gonna be a problem, but baiting this boss is out. It's the easiest boss I can think of to fight like that. And I have like fucking 39 half moon grants, 10 full moon, and 12 late moon. Like, that's... If that doesn't show how fucking effective I'm at this game, I don't know what does. Okay. I don't know what to expect from. I don't know what if they have anything changed about how this boss fight goes. All I remember is this boss fight used to be a real pain. For, like, if you didn't know what the fuck you're doing. I need to have a weapon that can enchant with fire. I have pines for fire, but I already know a sword I want to try out, so I'm going to use some of these souls I have and upgrade the sword, since materials, well, given I have materials for this shit, so they're weak to fire, so why not use their weakness against them? Scimitar. How do you want to fucking say that damn thing's name? And I can put fire pine resin on this. Okay, good. I get far more attacks out of it as well, so.
Your soul. No whispers. Otherwise, I'm keeping it close.
That should be enough to upgrade this a few times.
I can afford to wait.
I don't know how much damage he's gonna do, so I'm gonna... This is actually slightly better for me, because this thing's light. More like, actually no, it takes far less hits to run it. It takes more hits to run out damage. Thank God I had an idea to do this. Okay.
Got some pine resin back here. This is going to make me fall asleep. is weak to fire, so that high resonance in. Good. This is pretty much identical to the other thing that we had gone down already. Just have some patties, and you get an early introduction to the things that we're going to be fighting with the boss. So if for some reason you die against the phalanx boss, which is what these things are, you can always arm up or fire stuff off of those guys that have torches. Just saw them kill. Should be fine. This fight really isn't going to be challenging. Honestly, I don't know if they did, but it feels like they nerfed it slightly. Come out here. So, now if you get behind these things, they're basically what get kills. The shield is the only thing protecting them. You just get behind the shield and they die pretty easily. They're also good for farming up upgrade materials early on in the game. Sharp and Hearthstone shard, they can even drop large shards. So if you're really trying to load up on upgrades, great stuff to do. Right, back. So now if you die, it's going to run straight over here and fight the boss. Now the way this boss works is basically it has a bunch of those little blobby guys circled to a phalanx. This beach. The best way to do is if you run and you do like a quick 180 behind this thing at the start, the slimes, the hoplites, they'll begin to break off of the boss.
Under the benevolent rule, world was united owing to the soul path. Until a lustful power caused the awakening of the old one. Across the lands, a coloured, deep fog, and the world's extinction at the hands of demons. Thanks be. You were able to lull the old one back to its slumber, but only after the loss of innumerable souls, and most of the wealth lost and fought. In order to make the fact that land still remained, we entrusted 6 leaders with 6 precious orange stones, one to the king of a small yet industrious land, one to the king of the burrows underground, one to the wise queen of the great ivory tower, one to the chieftain of lost and unfortunate souls, one to the shaman of the tempest worshipping shadow, and the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The architect exists in the fringelands that survive. We contain the old one here below the nexus, and prohibited the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half hidden sentinels of reality. Alas, the other monumentals have perished, and only I remain. Now it is your turn. You must lull the old one back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, a deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have the strength to bear this burden. Yes, Unfortunate indeed to the hobby.
That burden ain't that damn hard to bear.
The old without demons to feed its soul, in a new fantasy, and weary to its bosom. He recognized the old and found his soul apart. Then he spread the arch then, and in order to make reality, monumentals we hate. However, man's memory of history is ever short, and before long he repeated his mistakes. The monumentals perished, and the archdeacons were long forgotten. A short sighting came around, once again roused the old one.
You just want to hit as many as you can with your weapon, while your weapon has fire on it. You might take a hit here or there, but you should be able to start really chopping through these things, and after chopping through a couple, you'll end up getting to the boss. Just to show how I like to do it. You can already kind of see a couple of them breaking off of it. So you just took out a big old chunk right there. And once you open at the side like we have right here, but I would suggest trying to do as many of these things as you can. Even though this is the boss fight, they can still drop the upgrade materials and whatnot. So, if you take down a bunch, you get a bunch of upgrade mats, you're in good shape. Once again, you don't have to kill every single one of these things. I just find it easy to do. Also kind of funny once you kill them all, because the boss just sits there like, what do I do? I'm honestly not sure if he can even attack you. This is something I didn't actually test. I'm not sure if he does it. Here, he's slowly spitting at me. Hearthstone, this is our Hellmon. Hearthstone, more Hearthstone. Let's see what I got. Oh, look at it all. Look at all those upgrade mats. What goodies we got. Look at the first level. So after that, come on over here, we get the Lead Demon Soul, and we can work on back to the Nexus. Now, the Lead Demon Soul can be used to make something called the Scraping Spear. Very, very cheeky weapon. It's good for PvP. If you're a fan of PvP, I would highly suggest you craft it. If you don't care about PvP, then don't worry about it. Just gobble it on up. But basically what it does is it doesn't have a ton of damage. But what it does do is it damages durability. So if you poke somebody with this thing, say 10, 15 times, even if they're blocking, you're going to break all of their armor. So very, very scummy tactic. But useful, especially against enemies who are going to block. Now the Jade Hair Ornament, we picked that up earlier. You can either trade this to Snuggly, or you can give it to Thomas here. So just talk to him a little bit. And then we go to organize. That guy should give us a new dynamo here and get us a ring. There we go. I'm going to give him that ornament. And he is going to give us a ring. Strength. Raise your item capacity, so decent one to keep on you. Get that. We're going to pop stuff. I don't like the weapon that comes from this. I believe I mentioned it, but the axe is just too heavy to really use. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for some extra souls.
I'm keeping a
While
close
we're here
watch
just
on
to
you.
talk about the pre-order stuff, I think he still hasn't pre-ordered and I want to turn off the stuff. Yeah, so if you pre-ordered, you have the Reaper Sight. It's an interesting weapon. I mean, it's not OP by any means. Both this and the deluxe weapon cannot be upgraded, so they're pretty much good for the start of the game, old-fashioned, and that's it. The deluxe edition Ritual Blade seems really powerful at first, but once again, it can't be upgraded, so by the time we're past the Tower Knight, it's kind of useless. The gear that you can get with the deluxe edition is pretty nice. The ring that a lot of people think is locked in the deluxe edition isn't. You can actually trade with the Crow to get one. But anyway, after we have spent our souls, we can upgrade if we want, but I would not upgrade just yet. We're going to be going and gathering some weapons in just a little bit here. So first we got to do the Monumental. There's a couple different things we need to do in the Crisis, but the first thing we want to do is kill this guy. Now, as I mentioned back in episode 1, with a world tendency, if we were to, so I should better show this. So if you look at this, you'll notice that there's a very, very slight difference between the Boletarian Palace icon right now and how the one in the Stonefang Tunnel looks. It's very minimal. But Boletaria right now is at +1 because we killed the boss there. So because of that, if we kill the 2 more bosses there, it'll jump up and it will become +3, and then it will be pure white. However, if we die in human form, it's going to go down by -1. So basically, if you're going into human form and you're running into these places, one of 2 things is either going to happen. Either you're going to just kind of stay at neutral if you're not dying that much, but you're still dying, or on the flip side, the world is going to go towards black tendency, which you do not want. Now, outside of the world events that also happen, one of the major differences is when your world tendency is on white, enemies have... Forming your running into these places, one of 2 things is either going to happen. Either you're going to just kind of stay at neutral if you're... You're not dying that much, but you're still dying. Or, on the flip side, the world is going to go towards black tendency, which you do not want. Now, outside of the world events that also happen, one of the major differences is when your world tendency is on white, enemies have less HP, so they're going to be easier to kill. When your world tendency goes towards black, enemies are going to be harder to kill. But to offset that, they're going to drop more souls, and they're going to have a better chance to get rare items. So, in general, play the game through once on pure white, knock out all that stuff that you need to knock out, and then worry about doing stuff on pure black.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons.
Anyway, talk to this guy. He'll give you a big cutscene that's kind of explaining all the stuff in the game, if you will. And then once that's done, all of our Arc Stones are unlocked. Now, there's actually a couple pieces of loot that are kind of hidden around the Nexus that we're going to grab real fast. First, over here, for Stone of Imperial Eyes, you can use that to turn back into human form. We're not that worried about that. Going to continue going up top. First, I'll move my boots here. What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to episode 3 of the walkthrough, and now it's time to really get things rolling. So in this episode, we're going to be covering starting weapons for each of the classes, briefly just to cover some stuff in the Nexus for now. Obviously, you level up with her. This is where we can store and take out loot. This is where we can upgrade loot. Over here, and do some like big stuff with this guy. For him, you need to have your stuff high enough. Your loot, your faith needs to be high enough to be able to interact with him. I think it's below 10. The magic guy we're going to unlock later, and there's a couple other NPCs we're going to unlock later, but those are the main ones that we have access to for now. Either way, if you're playing a strength build, this is where we're going next. First up, we're going to get the strength weapon, then we'll jump over to 1-4 and get some other stuff. There's a bunch of starter weapons we're going to be getting here. We're not going to be doing these zones in full. Very first thing we want to do, though, is right over here, there's a crystal lizard. You might as well kill this little bugger now. Now, the crystal lizards in this game are interesting. They're going to respawn every time you kill a boss. So, even though we just killed it when we killed the first boss, if we come back, that'll be sitting right there waiting for us. We have a merchant right here. And namely, he has, these are the two most important things. They're the basic upgrade tier, so you can get those here. Elixir is this game's version of like the healing grass from the Dark Souls games. We're not worried about any of that stuff, and we're not going to really do much else in this area besides going straight for the loot. We're going to save a lot of this for later when we come on back. So these guys are going to throw boulders, just kind of leave us to run past them. Don't even worry about that for now. Hit it first. Like this. Now you're going to meet your first fat mission. These guys can be very annoying to deal with. They can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. So you just try to hit me right there. So make sure you're like right up in the corner. This is the fat official. You can get behind him. Some good damage in. Mainly try and do this while you're casting. It's going to be your best time. These enemies, you're not going to do a lot of damage to for now, but that's okay. But the enemies here are actually weak to pierce. So if you have a spear or a running katana or something, you'll do a lot of damage to them. Otherwise, it's going to take quite a few hits to take them down, as you're seeing right now. I don't want that. I want... There we go. That's what I wanted. Rushing battle axe +1. Yes, I gotta get my strength up to make this better, but this is going to be the weapon that we'll be using for quite some time. Now, as for the build, I'm going to be doing a strength build, and the reason I'm doing a strength build for the walkthrough is out of all the various builds, I feel that strength is the most consistently replicatable. Magic is certainly easier to an extent, but the thing with magic is magic involves a lot of tactics that are kind of cheesy. And because of that, if somebody's not playing a magic build, all of a sudden those strategies become null and void. So because of that, we're going to be doing strength. That's why the character is named Oonga Boonga. But the strategies that we show will be pretty consistent for any melee type playthrough. And if you're playing as magic, honestly, you don't really need strategies. You just kind of smash stuff and it dies. A lot of range play. But to compensate for that, we'll be using a bow. So anytime I'm going hard with the bow, is a time where you would go hard with your magic. With those guys throwing the stuff dead, though, go on over here and pick this up. We're not going to use that for now. Save that. And we're going to head on over to our next zone. So crushing is basically the scale for strength. So what it does is it takes this axe and it removes all of the dex scaling from the axe and makes it scale primarily with strength. So being that we're aiming to do a strength build, that makes it a very, very solid starting weapon for a strength build, especially because with what we've done so far already, you know, we've already taken our stats and we've gotten our vitality up to 20, so we have a healthy amount of vitality. Pretty much everything else I do is going to be going strength here. Now, obviously, a couple different weapons are showing higher damage. That's fine. If you want to stick with those, you can. Even if we go to him, we're not going to be able to level up this. We're going to need the next guy to level it on up. But as we continue to level up our strength, this weapon will get better and better. Especially because of the strength bonus. So it's 2-handed, 117 damage. If we go to the halberd, which can hit that, you can see it's only 124, which isn't as much of an issue as I think. I think it would be a bigger difference. And obviously the axe has the advantage is a lot faster too. So we're really rocking this. But anyway, from there, we'll do next we are hopping over here. Now, I highly suggest you have your thief ring on before you come here. If you don't, you'll have bad times. So make sure that's on. This area is actually really good early on for farming a little bit. These skellies will do. The skellies are quite a chunk of souls. So if you're here doing early farms, take your time to fight these guys one at a time or so. You're going to see we're getting 300 souls a pop all of them. We're going to grab a couple of starter things here. Something like this. We're not going to be going too deep into this area.
Freely combine your equipment items and determine what you can do. Going from a cloak-wearing archer to a healer in plate armor to a mage wearing a mixture of all armor types is easily possible in Albion Online. Match your equipment to your preferred playing style. You can choose freely and are not locked into anything. As you move through Albion Online's Destiny Board, you unlock nodes to show your character's progress. This allows access to a broader variety of skills, more specializations, and more powerful equipment. This is not only for combat, but also for gathering and crafting skills. Become a generalist with a vast array of decent skills, or focus on becoming the best and most famous soulsmith. You have the freedom to become whoever you want. The choice is yours.
Oh my god, we killed each other. As a reminder, dying is fine as long as you're not in the body. Just to get better strategy.
Nope.
This guy's extra spicy today. I'm guessing that if I want to kill these guys, there's 100% for what we're going to get. Chance, I'll probably use the just because it's that good.
That wasn't that difficult. That was actually going to be a challenge.
Typically, both of these guys would come at the same time. Because we have the deep ring on, we're able to turn just one down. What are you doing? Come back here. You have some archers on top, so just make sure you're fighting these guys far enough back that the archers aren't making a problem for you. Alright, and then grab a hero soul. Grab the soldier's lotus. And we can make the task. Alright, next I want to go this way and make sure you have the shield up. There's going to be a trap right here. If you don't have a shield, just roll on through it, try your best. And then go on up.
Let me see if we can play offline. I'm not doing that. Oh wait, that is not what it was. Yeah.
Okay, that's the way to snow it. I'm going the wrong way. Don't want to go up yet. Though there is, well, I can try and shoot that. We'll be here for now. There'll be a big angry skeleton. Don't worry about this guy. Getting this, and then back it up. Now the Crescent Falchion is another newly upgraded falchion, but this is actually split. So it does both magic damage and physical damage. Early on in the game, this is an incredibly strong weapon. If you're playing as a magic class, this is going to be a red buff. If you're not, it's still I'm going to see if I can pull off the generator skip here to show that as well. This is great. is running and rolling at this ledge. What this is going to do, if we can get it properly, is it's going to get us a very, very powerful ring early on in the game. A little bit tricky to get. That's exactly what the message here is referring to. I'm not very good at it. I've gotten this maybe once, but anyway, it's there if you want to try doing it. Basically, the ring gives you like 6 health regen per second. It's either 5 or it's 6. You almost got there. It's right down there. So we're trying to sneak down to. Oh, almost there. No, I'm not going to worry about it. But you can get the ring by doing that trick roll, which if you can get it, great. It's not something you absolutely need to get. So anyway, let's just get down here. Now we're going to pick up some loot, and then we're going to kill this guy. So this is identical to the one that we fought previously. Over here to grab the Kalish. That is a fantastic dexterity weapon. Over here to grab the Stoic Hero Soul. Over here to grab the Uchigatama. Now, one of the main reasons that we are doing the Thief Ring is you'll see these little things up in the air that look like manta rays. They're going to be shooting these little crystals at us, but with the Thief Ring on, their aggro range is increased greatly. So it's a little bit easier for you to avoid them by having a Thief Ring on. We're going to sit here and just kind of get some damage in and beat this guy. And the fight is basically identical to the first one, except we're actually going to get some souls for beating this one down. If you're wondering why it's ticking down, it's because on top of having the magic and the physical damage, it's also got the weak, so it's bleeding right now.
So you can backstab. Oh yeah, no. Thief Ring.
So let's just get down here. Now we're going to pick up some loot, and then we're going to kill this guy. So this is identical to the one that we fought previously. Over here to grab the Kalish. That is a fantastic dexterity weapon. Over here to grab a stored hero soul. Over here to grab the Shigatama. Now, one of the main reasons that we are doing the Thief Ring, because you'll see these little things up in the air that look like man rings, they're going to be shooting these little crystals out. With the Thief Ring on, their aggro range is decreased greatly, so it's a little bit easier for you to avoid them. If I have the Thief Ring on, they'll just sit here damaging people's skin. Basically, the first one is that you're actually going to get some service for being this one. Wondering why his health ticking down. It's because on top of having the magic and the physical damage, this also has bleed, so yeah, it's bleeding right now. Yeah, there's some bleeding bounce today. Taking him down.
What in the fuck? Nope. Motherfucker. I need to just let him bleed.
Got another Grey Demon Soul, and that is going to be it for 4-1. Here we'll just head on down and warp on away. And now we have an excellent setup pretty much regardless of what class we're going to be playing as. So just to go, let me get back to the Nexus before we go looking at all of our spoils of war. We'll pop this. If you want the Dozer Axe, save one of these. I have zero interest in that weapon, and you don't need it for a trophy or anything anymore, so, you know, unless you want the axe, go ahead and use that soul.
We have absolutely murdered our fields and our agriculture. We're sleepwalking into a huge agricultural issue with the soil quality around the world.
Our global population is expected to reach 10 billion people by 2050. We need to figure out how to supply enough food in a way that's sustainable for the planet. The answer may lie in vertical farming, stacking crops indoors and growing them with LED lights rather than planting them across fields. Vertical farming doesn't require us to take more land like rainforests or wetlands and convert them into farmland. But this isn't just to conserve land. It requires less water and creates less pollution.
Farming is actually one of the biggest CO2 producers.
There's a problem though. Vertical farms are expensive, currently 3 to 5 times pricier than traditional farms. The question is, can they ever be cheaper than farming the old-fashioned way?
We work on, can we grow something that's a price for all to eat? And then if we crack that, we roll the technology around the world.
This is Make It Count, a series on environmental innovations and the math it takes to bring them to the masses. This is James Lloyd Jones, the CEO and founder of Jones.
Alright, now to, first I'll prepare and I'll touch the demon inside of her. Strengthen.
I need to increase my mana because I have a chime that heals me. Try to backstab as much as possible. I don't want to waste all my fucking half moons, so get as much health as possible in one go, which would be fun. He died less, but he has less souls from this encounter of trying to get the fucking shit here killed. I'm gonna have, like, tons of fucking souls for the fact that I'm in a way, like, I've died tons of times. I don't care if I get super black or super white. Whatever comes first, I get. I'll just have to live with what I get. That's how this goes. I'm not paying it. I'm gonna try not to die as much. But I'm not gonna, like, kill myself after hitting a boss fight, just so I can make sure I don't get, I have to make sure I don't die. Yeah, I've got way more than he did.
The Curse of Falchion, very strong all-around choice, mainly because of the fact that it has split damage. It's doing with physical and magic. So pretty much any class with this, and you would be doing just fine. As for the other stuff, the Uchi has a pretty high strength requirement for a dexterity-based weapon, but it's your katana, it's what you'd expect. It's very beefy, solid weapon all around. It has a backstab that's very nice. It has a sprinting poke attack that's very nice. So you have both slashing and piercing attacks. But if you're going to go dex, honestly, I would recommend the Khalij. The Khalij is basically just a very high tier scimitar. It's fast, man. It is fast. This is like what you ultimately switch to when your dex is high enough to use this over the Falchion. And then, of course, playing as a strength build, we have the Battle Axe with a strength up a fair amount. We're now up to 127, just getting our strength up, which I believe is what we were at with the Halberd before. Let's see. The Halberd is now at 128, so you can see just how a couple points is very quickly putting our axe up. But despite that, We're at 157 degrees on Falchion just because split damage is so very powerful. Now, I am going to tip off a couple things here. We're going to do a little bit of mini inventory management, if you will. Rings we almost nothing, so don't worry about them. Actually, since we picked up, it's the ragged gear. One thing you might want to do is just look through your gear, see if there's anything that you can put on while keeping your weight below 40%. Fortunately, I don't really have that.
Let's see how many times I can use this. Still one time. Okay, that's not good.
We manage our weight. Anything that we are not wearing, we're going to end up depositing because we want our weight as low as possible. Take the crossbow. I'm not going to use that crossbow. I'm getting rid of it. I don't need an extra talisman of God. I don't need the shield. Same with all these weapons. Everything that is not the crushing battle axe, it's going to go. Same with upgrade shards. You can deposit these here. Store them. I'll deposit this because I never use it. So if you don't want any of these weapons, or if you do, now is the time to upgrade. You need to have the weapons in your inventory. Keep in mind these special weapons, things that like the Crescent Falchion, Crescent Battle Axe. We're not going to be able to upgrade those with this guy, only the most basic stuff. But we do have enough stuff so far to upgrade whatever weapon you may want to have. So from here, the next area we're going to go is we're actually going to proceed right over to the Lord's Path. This is 1-2. Real fast, I'm just going to show a quick little farm here. We're going to actually save 1-2 for another episode. It's a pretty short zone, so we'll be able to knock it out completely on its own, just a singular episode. But the reason I want to point this out is, in addition to being able to buy stuff for 500 souls a pop, being able to kill these couple hoplites that are here very easily, you can net up stuff like your shards. So if I was to put on my item discovery ring, kill this one, we can run right up and kill this one. Actually, probably do more damage with my axe, just because they're resistant. We got the 3 items that are here as well. This one, almost identical damage. Bring it over here. That one right here. I'm just getting this one. Now, unfortunately, my luck is clearly not happening right now because I didn't get anything. Grab this real fast. More grass, and then there's some stuff over on the left. But to replicate this, all you need to do is just quickly rest. So, let's say you did want to farm these guys, and then soul lines. So it's required. Okay, so I do have enough I could grab a level now as well. Right when you're done killing, just run back here, hit this, and then just tap X again to rest the Lord's Path, and you'll be able to kill them and get really good very fast. So, basically, if you're not using the Falchion or the Battle Axe, you could easily get a weapon up to like 3, 4, 5 even. You can really get something leveled up and put you in a good position to start slaughtering all the time. Where is them? Where's she at? I don't see the maiden. It's hiding from me. I think hide and seek apparently. This is the 5th Arkstone. It was never completed. We'll never see it. Oh, there she is. People will hope for DLC forever. It'll probably never happen, but... if you're following along and leveling the way I'm leveling, I am going to bring my strength up to about 30. Once it's around 30, that's where the Crushing Battle Axe will pretty much outclass any other weapon that I could throw. So, we want to get our strength up. And 30s is a nice stopping point, too. So once we get our strength up there, we don't have to worry about it. And instead we can really focus on our backup stats. So either way, having gotten all of our starter weapons, I would have liked to get the Regenerator's Ring, but, I'm bad at that skip. And to be honest, it's one of those things that's kind of hard for new players to replicate anyway. It is a very, very tricky skip. If you really want to get that ring, just Google Regenerator Ring skip, and you should find a couple of videos showcasing it. We are going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you got a weapon that's going to work with your build. These aren't weapons that are intended to carry us all the way to the end of the game, or just get us through a couple of those early levels. So up next, we are going to do the Lord's Path. which is World 1-2. All the worlds in Demon.
You can be anything you want to be, as everybody has theirs in this magical world. Imagine that you're a miner. You are gathering ore in the mountains to supply your guild with precious resources. The blacksmith of your guild crafts the best weapons north of Dalton Sea, using the ore you bring in. Your guild, the Eternals, control the mountain area of the Western Outlands. Thus, they can control the market for weapons and ore. All thanks to your guild's precious resources. Your guild's merchants travel south to bring swords and unrefined ore to the city. Dalton Sea lies in the swamps, an area where no ore is to be found. So good quality weapons are scarce and sell well. This guild, the Ivory Invaders, is hunting animals for hide, which can be found plentiful in the steppe. This is also home to ancient animals, rarely to find in Albion. The guild then sells their precious loot in the city. Your merchants are buying valuable hide from the hunters, which they will need for armor, bags, and saddles. They then load their oxen and set out to return to their home in the mountains. The way back home is long and dangerous for your merchants when they ride through the swamps. These people call themselves shadow stalkers, outlaws lurking in the swamps. They prefer to plunder caravans traveling through rather than working and trading. The battle is short and brutal. The raiders are much better prepared. They overwhelm the few defenders you brought, plunder your caravan, and disappear into the swamp. You cannot let this happen again. The trading route from the mountains to Dalton Sea is far too important to let it be controlled by bandits.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the next part of the walkthrough. We're ready to continue on, and we're hopping over to World 1-2, the Lord's Path. So one thing I want to touch on real fast, how we talked about being able to use photo mode as a pause. I pointed this out as well, but keep in mind that when you photo mode, you're pausing the game in your own world. If you're in body form and you're online, players can still invade you. It's not a true pause, it's a makeshift pause. So, you know, as we've said up till now, you shouldn't be playing in body form just because you're at risk of potentially dying and then affecting evil tendency, which we don't want. But regardless, I still wanted to mention that because the last thing I would want is for somebody to think they're perfectly safe with the game pause, and then an invader just comes in and loops it. That would be no fun. So the last episode we just to touch something again, one was over there by the other hoplites. Then again, from here, hit this and then talk to Ostrava. This is the next part of his chain. Talk to him. He just basically wants us to kill this soldier. This level is pretty short, actually. This is probably one of the easier parts of the game, so we're going to let a lot of tools for this out. So run ahead here and stop right around the scorched bodies. How much part of this message is that? So for now, don't worry about any of these folks. We are going to kill the dragon this episode, and then we'll be able to grab all this stuff safely. For now, let's run up here. Yeah, it's like that. You notice we're still using that pressing function, even though it's just kind of shred through content. So after that travel, head down. Now we're going to work our way towards Australia. There's just a bunch of enemies we're gonna fight. Making sure to swap with that. Oh. Just kind of shred through content this way. So after that tower, we're going to head on down. Now we're going to work our way towards Ostrava, and there's just a bunch of enemies we're going to fight. Let's see. 1 Drake, 6 soldiers, bleed ring, blue knight, chest, and the Charlotte. Bleed ring, the chest, and the other thing. We got some dark moon grass from him. This is in that category of stuff that I would recommend saving for now. So I would just send it to storage. If you want to keep one as like an emergency full heal, go for it. But especially at this early in the game, just having a full grass is going to be good. I save that. People save it. So as opposed to going back up, we're going to cross this, and this will take us over to the second tower. So basically, because you're at risk of potentially dying and then affecting people's tendency, which we don't want. But regardless, I still wanted to mention that because the last thing I would want is for somebody to think they're perfectly safe to get across and then so last episode we got a couple hoops here, just to touch on that again. But anyway, you want to run down here. This is the next part of this chain. So this basically wants us to kill this. This level is pretty short, actually. But run ahead here and stop right around the scorched bodies. So for now, don't worry about any of these loots. We are going to kill the dragon this episode, and then we'll be able to grab all this stuff safely. For now, just run up here. It's not that bad. Notice we're still using that, even though we're not a magic build, because damage on this, it's going to really help us just kind of shred through content this early in the game. So after that tower, we're going to head on down.
I always think those things are fuck you cursed fucking bloody hounds. I hate dogs in any Souls game. Means Ostrava is on the upset end. Okay, let's see what he has to sell now. Longsword actually would be really useful.
Try to slop in that. This, let's see. 1 drag, 6 soldiers, blade ring, blue knife, chest, and the shotgun. So bleed ring, chest. We got some dark moon grass from him. This is in that category of stuff. You want to keep one as like an emergency tool here, especially at this point in the game. Just having a full moon grass is going to be good for you. So, all the dark and new moon stuff, I save that. Even save. So as opposed to going back, we're going to go to this to take us over to the second tower. So it's basically just a underground path that we can take. So we have fire bombs. Now is a good time to see if we have any left. We might have just. Alright, we have. That's okay. You don't need fire bombs, but it will make this next part that's coming up a little bit easier here. Basically, there's going to be a big pack of dogs that we're going to fight. And so, if you don't have fire bombs, just be real fast on the attacks. So, don't go sprinting, don't go rolling into it. But have all your stamina ready. Here we go. So we lost a little bit of health, but we did not die. And that's probably the most risky part here, is just fighting all those guys. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with the sheer number of enemies there. It's like 5 or 6 all on you at the same time. 5 dogs. So we got the grass, the soldier, and our merchant. So here is where we can pick up the claymore. So you can see 6,000 souls. The claymore, it's, as I mentioned, it's identical in its moveset to the bastard sword. So I would suggest trying out the bastard sword. If you like the moveset of that, the claymore is just a better version. It weighs more, but the reach on it is astounding, and it's an absolutely awesome weapon. If you're going for a strength or a quality build, this is a really solid choice that you just can't go wrong with. So something to keep in mind. It's a little bit pricey, but this weapon could easily carry you to the end of the game if you're upgrading it properly. So anyway, go back this way. We're going to go up top. There's going to be some enemies that we'll need to fight right when we get up here. Guys that were basically waiting to ambush us, how we run across properly. And up top we go. There would have been a bunch of enemies down there that we would have had to run past. By taking the lower path, we're going to go similar to the start of the bridge. Once again, we're going to run and just basically outsprint the dragon. So, but I'm going to start a little bit after this. So, wait for the dragon. Same thing again. Here. Now I'll take down this knife. Boss is through there, but we don't want to go into the boss just yet. Just press the 6 spot, so there's 2 blue knights. Yeah, so we're going to go right up top of this lizard. And keep in mind, since we already killed one boss, this lizard can respawn. So, we can, anytime we kill a lizard, when you come across the respawn. So the lizard back in the first area, that could be...
I'm gonna guess he went up this staircase because, yeah, that's locked. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say this fucker. Xbox, go home. Xbox, go to YouTube.
Respawn by now. After we kill the Tower Knight, we can get that lizard to spawn 3 times.
You're going to meet people outside of your rating, outside of your specialty, that are going to be some of the best people you've ever met. The Navy's a melting pot.
Camaraderie in the military is amazing. Every single walk of life has a corps or a group, and I've been working with some of these people for years.
And I wouldn't worry about hitting every single lizard in the game for every boss spawn, but anytime that you're a little low on upgrade materials, that's when you're going to be like, okay, you know what, let me farm that lizard for a little bit. So grab those items, go over here and grab this stuff as well. Now we are ready for the Tower Knight. Now, there are 2 real approaches to this fight I want to discuss. The first is just zerging through them. Now, typically, zerging through them is ill-advised, but there is a hidden achievement in the game for killing this guy without killing any of the archers. Basically, the fight works in that you're fighting him down in an arena, and there's going to be archers that spawn up top. So you want to, if you're playing it safe, you want to run up top, kill all the archers. If you're trying to get the achievement, you just need to burst him down without worrying about the archers. But there is a way that we can do to make this a little bit easier. So we're actually going to switch over to our battle axe here. That's a little bit weaker. We're going to be using the pine resin to buff it up some. As for the Tower Knight himself, this fight's pretty simple. All you're going to need to do is just whack at his ankles. After you do enough damage, he'll start shooting out like soul energy from them, and then he'll fall down, and then you just beat on his head. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure we have our thief ring up. This is going to help reduce detection from the archers, and we're going to run to the back of the arena here. Take a hit, don't worry about it. Run for now. We get right around back here. Now, we're not universally protected from the archers, but with the thief ring on,
I'm not doing that achievement. Fuck that. Turn controller off. want that, if I get that achievement, they'll be on New Game Plus, and I don't care about achievements, so. Getting that achievement to me just seems extraordinarily pointless. first try. That was easy. I really didn't think that boss fight would be that damn easy. What the fuck? Why was that so easy? That boss fight is like second boss of the, technically third boss that you ever encounter in this entire game so far. And people normally have trouble on that one. Well, I'm not actually. I take that back on that. Most people, so.
We're far enough away that a lot of the archers won't actually target us back here. So notice we're not really being shot at by them. So I'm going to wait for him to get a little bit closer. And then we're going to go beat on his angles. I'd also suggest you do this fight unlocked. Don't worry about locking onto this guy. Just stay behind him and do what you can. Roll away when he does the same, of course. You can see now how we're back in the middle. All of a sudden, all the archers are getting involved. Alright, so that angle's good. And it's going to make this fight a little bit harder because we are trying to get the achievement. If you're not worried about the achievement, or if, say, you want to wait and do the achievement in New Game Plus, instead you can just simply run up top, you can kill all those archers, and then you can fight him. But you might as well try and get the achievement over here, right? So we're going a little bit deeper into here. Make the archers less of a pain. Actually, let me go back to the... Every member of my family fights this fight. You'll be paid to get advice. Somebody give you some. Where are you from? You should go back. You don't make it here. Help these parasites. You hold it together for everyone else.
The couriers, basic men, part-time gangsters. You hate this town, and all you've done since you were a little boy is bravely leaving. Just deal with the devil, brother.
Been in the job with the beast. Someday he gonna finish his mission.
Every once in a while, it's nice to remind them. They're the prisoners, not us.
Didn't even make it alone before this place tore me to pieces.
Oh, I've got some bad news for you. It's not torn to pieces. Very close. It's coming.
I want what you get from him.
And when he's about to fall, make sure you back off. I'll tell you when it's going to happen. It's pretty easy.
Demon Souls. How to create the items from the Tower Knight's soul.
Right up on his head. Oh my god, he lost Connell's hand in his head. That's very unfortunate. But basically, when he's getting ready to do that ball, he's going to back up. So get on his head, be on his head. That's the same thing. Back the ankle.
area of Boletarian, so World 1 or 2, which is how most people say it. So we're going to go ahead. Another one, where are you? It's quite a few of them.
Hey guys, Ashen1 here, and welcome to this Demon's Souls remake video on the 10 boss weapons that can be made from boss souls. If you like my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. Okay, let's get straight into it. First of all, to make boss weapons, you will need to have given Blacksmith Ed in World 2.1 the Searing Demon Soul, which is the Flamelurker Soul. With the soul in your inventory, simply exhaust Ed's dialogue by talking to him. If the option to give him the Searing Demon Soul does not appear, simply walk away and try it again. Now that Ed can forge boss weapons, you will need a base weapon and a specific boss soul to create a boss weapon. Let's go through each of the 10 weapons in order of world and boss. Weapon number 1, the Scraping Spear. The Scraping Spear is created using the lead demon soul, which you get from the Failings boss in World 1.1. You will need to have a short spear +7 or a winged spear +7 as the base weapon to combine with the lead or lead demon soul to create the Scraping Spear. The Scraping Spear requires 15 points in both strength and dexterity and scales in power with a rating of E for strength and a rating of A for dexterity. The Scraping Spear cannot be upgraded, however, it lowers the durability of your opponent's armor and weapons by 10 points with each hit, which makes it great for PvP and much hated by the players you use it on. Weapon number 2, the Lava Bow. The Lava Bow is created using the Hard Demon Soul, which you get from the Armored Spider boss in World 2.1. You will need to have any normal bow +7 as the base weapon to combine with the Hard Demon Soul to create the Lava Bow. The Lava Bow requires 21 points in strength and 16 points in dexterity and scales in power with a rating of D for strength, a rating of D for dexterity, and a rating of E for magic. The Lava Bow cannot be upgraded, however, it will apply 100 fire damage to your arrows, and this fire damage will scale with your magic stat, making it deadly against foes weak to fire. Weapon number 3, the Needle of Eternal Agony. The Needle of Eternal Agony is created using the Mixed Demon Soul, which you get from the Man-Eater boss in World 3.2. You will need to have a dagger, rapier, or estoc +7 as the base weapon to combine with the Mixed Demon Soul to create the Needle of Eternal Agony. The Needle of Eternal Agony requires 6 points in strength, 20 points in dexterity, and 20 points in magic. It has no stat scaling. The Needle of Eternal Agony cannot be upgraded, however, it will steal 20 souls from enemies per hit, but this is pretty much a completely pointless weapon to make. Its damage is poor, and the souls on it do not scale in any way. If you're looking to make a very difficult run through for yourself in the game, then this is the weapon to choose. Otherwise, it is quite pointless. Weapon number 4, the Insanity Catalyst. The Insanity Catalyst is created using the Golden Demon Soul, which you get from the Old Monk boss in World 3.3. You will need to have the Wooden Catalyst or the Silver Catalyst as the base weapon to combine with the Golden Demon Soul to create the Insanity Catalyst. The Insanity Catalyst requires 6 points in strength and 16 points in magic. It scales in power with a rating of E for strength and a rating of A for magic. The Insanity Catalyst cannot be upgraded, however, it will drastically increase your magic power. This increase in magic power comes at a cost though. Your MP will be halved when using the Insanity Catalyst, but with magic and intelligence at 40, the Old Monk's head wraps, the Crisp Blade, and the Ring of Magical Sharpness, your magic will be off the chart. With Hyper Mode on top, you will still be one-shotting bosses at New Game +5. Weapon number 5, the Dozer Axe. The Dozer Axe is created using the Grey Demon Soul, which you get from the Vanguard. You will need to have an axe or halberd +6 as the base weapon to combine with the Grey Demon Soul to create the Dozer Axe. The Dozer Axe requires 30 points in strength to be used one-handed and 20 points to be two-handed, and it does not scale. The Dozer Axe has an interesting moveset, including a roll R1 with a small AoE, and can be great for strength-based PvE and PvP. The Dozer Axe can also be buffed with magic and resins for even greater damage output. Weapon number...
Hari's showing off her hero again. She says she's good at AFK, but she never walks in. But then why is her combat rating so high?
That's because I got rewards by going AFK, and I use them to level up my heroes. I got so many free scrolls and heroes by passing multiple stages. And, I also have a new promo code.
What? Tell us.
I'm only gonna tell you. So enter in the promo code
6. The Meat Cleaver. The Meat Cleaver is created using the Swollen Demon Soul, which you get from the Adjudicator boss in World 4.1. The fastest way to create the Meat Cleaver is to use a club or Great Club plus 0 as the base weapon to combine with the Swollen Demon Soul. The Meat Cleaver requires 26 points in strength and 16 points in faith, and it scales impressively with a rating of S for strength, a rating of S for dexterity, and a rating of A for faith. This is the only weapon in the game that has 2 S ratings. The Meat Cleaver cannot be upgraded, however, on each hit you will regain 1% of your HP, and the Meat Cleaver can be buffed with magic and resins, making this weapon awesome when you have the right stats. Weapon number 7, the Large Sword of Searching. The Large Sword of Searching is created using the Hero Demon Soul, which you get from the old hero boss in World 4.2. There are a lot of different weapons you can use as the base weapon, which need to be at plus 8. As you can see here, I have used Claws plus 8 to combine with the Hero Demon Soul to create the Large Sword of Searching. The Large Sword of Searching requires 24 points in strength and 16 points in dexterity, and it scales with a rating of D for both. The Large Sword of Searching cannot be upgraded, however, equipping it will double your base item discovery, and this stacks with the Providential Ring to further increase your item drops. Weapon number 8, the Morian Blade. The Morian Blade is created using the Storm Demon Soul, which you get from the Storm King boss in World 4.3. You will need any sword plus 8 as the base weapon to combine with the Storm Demon Soul to create the Morian Blade. The Morian Blade requires 14 strength and 14 dexterity, and it does not scale. The Morian Blade cannot be upgraded, however, when at 30% HP or less, the Morian Blade will give the player a 60% damage boost. When combined with the Clever Rat's Ring, your overall damage boost at 30% HP will be 140% extra damage, and that's any kind of damage. This is known as Hyper Mode, and you can check out my video linked in the description below, as this can get you through pretty much any New Game Plus cycle. Weapon number 9, the Blue Blood Sword. The Blue Blood Sword is created using the Pure Blood Demon Soul, which you get from Maiden Estrella in World 5.3. You will need a Broken Sword plus 0 as the base weapon to combine with the Pure Blood Demon Soul. Broken Swords are rare drops from Dreglings, or you can get one here in World 5.2, the Swamp of Sorrows. The Blue Blood Sword requires 18 points in strength, dexterity, magic, and faith, and it scales with a rating of D for strength and a rating of E for both magic and faith. It cannot be upgraded, but despite the odd stat spread and poor scaling, the Blue Blood Sword has the potential of being the strongest weapon in the game. It is not made clear, but the more stat points you have in luck, the more powerful this sword will be. And on top of this, the sword can be buffed with magic and resins. This sword will be devastating when you have the right stats for it, all of your points in luck, and you have it buffed with magics or resins. And finally, weapon number 10, the Northern Regalia. Before we start with this one, you can check out my dedicated video on the Northern Regalia in the description. So, the Northern Regalia is created by combining both the Demon Brand Sword and the Soul Brand Sword with the False King Demon Soul, which you get from the False King Allant boss fight in World 1.4. Demon Brand can be found in the Mausoleum in World 1-1, and Soul Brand can be found at the very end of the game. If you want to create the sword in one playthrough, just bring an Arkstone Shard or the Miracle Evacuate to the end boss fight, so you can warp out before triggering the cutscene and going into New Game Plus. Northern Regalia requires 20 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 12 Magic, and 12 Faith, and it scales not with stats, but with your character tendency. The closer you are to pure white or pure black character tendency, the stronger the sword will be, maxing out at 540 AR. So there we have it, guys. All of the boss weapons in...
I saw 2 I want, and they're telling me what I have access to.
Here in Volataria, the legend of 2 swords and a solitary hero. The 2 swords are Demon Brand and Soul Brand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The solitary hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Volataria and protector of the 2 swords. Of course, only according to legend. In the dark step to our land, sometimes legends are all we have.
That secret the power of the soul, no? That actually lives inside me. The soul of the mind utilized in there. The soul of the world is drawn inside. Let can't be grounded to the wood like a lily, to the world like a man.
Turn around, big guy. In a weird spot here. There we go. So if you kill them like this, you should get the achievement One Will Fall. You'll also get the achievement for killing the Tower Knight, obviously. But you'll get the hidden achievement for killing him without killing any of the archers. But with the fight done, go ahead and just sprint through this. This is where all the archers would have been. There's a couple little pieces of loot that we can pick up, so we're going to grab all that real fast. As for the Tower Knight's soul, you can make one of these spells you need for the trophy with it, so hang on to that, do not eat it. It's actually a really nice spell. It's called Warding, and it gives you a pretty hefty defensive boost. So since we're playing as a Temple Knight, and we already have a fair amount of faith, it's actually not a bad spell to put on. You'll have to upgrade your attunement to equip it this early, but very, very solid spell. Will make you quite tanky, easily tankier than just like stacking up armor. I think it's like a 75% damage reduction or something along those lines. Might be 40. I know there's 2 tiers. I think protection is 40, warding is 75. So we loot the area for Souls of Grass, warding spell. Might just touch the Arkstone here. And then we're going to hop back to the Nexus.
At age 26, Michael Tubbs became the youngest mayor in the history of Stockton, California. He also became the target of a local website owned by a future political opponent that would dog him for the remainder of his term. So how did this one outlet's disinformation campaign likely contribute to this rising star's downfall?
I was reporting another story about Stockton, California, and I basically just got this weird tip. Somebody told me that Stockton had its own version of Russian trolls. And you're a journalist. My interest was piqued.
That's Yowei Shaw, co-host of NPR's Invisibilia podcast. She reported a 3-part series for her program called The Chaos Machine. It looked at the local news climate in Stockton and one widely read, but controversial website.
From the beginning of 209 Times' birth, they were going after Michael Tubbs. Right after Michael Tubbs was elected, 209 Times popped up and just started relentlessly going after Michael with negative story after negative story, saying all kinds of things, that millions of dollars in scholarships were missing from the foundation that he was in charge of. They painted a picture of him as a corrupt, out-of-touch, disrespectful politician.
Yowei is careful to say that 209 Times is not just a site for conspiracies or misinformation. It can be a helpful resource, but that's what makes it so concerning. As Yowei explains it, 209 Times' stories have a spectrum of truthiness, and we're seeing more sites like this pop up around the country to fill the local news void. So why would 209 Times focus so much on this young politician? Well, part of the reason may be that 209 Times was created by a man named Moctezuma Sanchez, who went on to run against Tubbs in the 2020 primary when Michael was up for re-election. Sanchez, of course, benefited from his website's coverage.
One thing that I was able to do is Facebook has a pretty good search page. So if you look at Motec Sanchez, who's the owner of this outlet who runs it, he ran for mayor against Michael Tubbs in 2020. And you pretty much just see, these are puff pieces, endorsements, the investigative reporter of 209 Times endorsing him, all positive stories. Also, all positive stories, not disclosing that he runs the site. And then we look at Michael Tubbs and run the same search. All you see, again, Michael Tubbs caught on camera, ignoring constituents to play on cell phone. It's all negative stories about him.
Also, a note, his ownership information isn't listed on the websites About Us page. When speaking to Yowei, Sanchez said all the information on the site is accurate, but she found several examples of demonstrably false claims made about Mayor Michael Tubbs.
This is a story about Michael Tubbs saying that he's caught working a full-time job in New York. Normally, you would see the byline at the top or at the bottom. Let's search if there's a byline. Okay, no byline. I think that's a red flag, because if there's no byline, how do you know whether the person who wrote the story has a conflict of interest?
Yowei eventually found that Tubbs' involvement with the Bloomberg campaign was unpaid and not full-time. She confronted Sanchez with this example when she first questioned the article's accuracy.
When I confronted Motec with this information, he was just like, nah. I mean, it's basically true. And so I think what they're doing is basically saying we are journalists and we are providing news that is trustworthy, and also we don't have to play by any of the traditional journalism norms. We don't care about the same standards of fact-checking. We don't care about the same standards of fairness.
It's these journalistic standards that help provide reliable, trustworthy news. So when a site like 209 Times doesn't disclose who writes the article, misrepresents public record, doesn't regularly issue corrections, or is overly reliant on anonymous sourcing, it's all cause for concern.
Anonymous sources should be used sparingly, because if you don't know who is giving the information, then how do you evaluate how credible it is if there's a conflict of interest? That's why there's a really high bar for news outlets to use anonymous sources.
Tool 95 is just one local site, but the dearth of local news creates opportunities for sites like it to fill the void. So ask yourself these questions when evaluating whether resources are potentially trustworthy. Do you know who will be ownership? Are there undisclosed conflicts of interest? Is the sourcing clear? Does the site issue corrections to its errors?
We live in a different reality than we did 20 years ago when it comes to local news. That's why this new phenomenon is so frightening and alarming, because we can't just rely on our local newspaper journalists who have been trained.
As always, because we need a boss, our body is restored, so once again, we're going to want to jump and fall to jump and fall to lose our body form. It's restored, so once again, we're going to want to jump and fall to pause this for now. We're going to want to jump and fall to use our body form. Use these. Spend these souls. Actually, we'll do our upgrades first. First, go over here and take this, and you want to upgrade this as high as you can. In fact, since we're a little bit short, since we need 3 more, we are going to go over to the merchant over here and just pick up 3 more. We're going to get this bow up as high as we can get it here, and that's going to...
Wow, that is gorgeous.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. So I noticed the last episode I forgot to pull it out of stream mode, so it was only 1440 instead of 4K, so apologies for that. Either way, we're going to continue. I actually looked it up to verify, and we can, the arc stones that we can use to warp out, they cost 5,000 a pop. So even though we abandoned 4,800 souls, it was actually worth it, because the price of an arc stone is more expensive. But anyway, head on over to the smithing grounds for 2-1. We're going to get started with this. Now, there are 2 weapons I would recommend that you use for going through this area. Either the falchion we have on right now, or alternatively, the winged spear that we picked up on the bridge. Now, the enemies here are very weak spears, so I'm going to pull on out the spear just to show that. But basically, you're going to want to use either the blade we have that's enchanted with magic, because the split damage will work, or pierce. As a reminder, there is a wizard over there that we grabbed in a previous episode of Merchant. And then if you hadn't watched episode 3, we put that elevator that's up there. There's also some over here by the heart this episode as well. But anyway, all the loot that we grabbed back in episode 3 on the side, we're heading down into here and continuing. So just to show the difference here, using the falchion, as you can see, it's taking about 2 hits to kill these guys. With the spear, still getting some pretty good damage. The spear is unupgraded, so obviously the damage isn't as nice as it would be. But using something like the battle axe, you can see we're not really getting a lot of damage. I mean, it's going to be 4 hits to get a kill here. So the easiest way is to just use the falchion. You go through this area, just put these guys up. They cost 5,000 pop. So even though we abandoned 4,800 souls, it was actually worth it because the price of an arc stone is worth it. But anyway, head on over to the smithing grounds. 2-1. We're going to get started with this. Now there are 2 weapons I would recommend that you use. Either the option we have on right now. Alternatively, the winged spear that we picked up on the bridge. The enemies here are very weak pierce, so I'm going to pull on out the spear just to show that. Basically, you're going to want to use either the blade we have that's enchanted with magic, because the split damage will work, or pierce. As a reminder, there is a wizard over there that we grabbed in a previous episode of The Merchant. And then if you hadn't watched episode 3, we took that elevator that's up there to get the battle axe that I've been switching back and forth to. Also, so Luke over here by the car that we were going to all the way back to episode 3 on the side. You're coming down here. So the show is here using the Falchion. As you can see, it's taking about 2 hits to kill these guys. Here, still getting some damage. Using something like the Battle Axe. You can see they're not really getting a lot of damage. I mean, it's going to be 4 hits to get a kill. So the easiest way to use the Falchion through this area just for that.
Oh, thank God I bought tons of these from that merchant. I don't have to waste my fucking big ones. Luckily, killing them is actually easy. Just getting hit by them is the very opposite of what I want. Most of these fuckers die with ease. fuck that idea. Bo is overpowered. The ones that are standing are going to be the problem because they're more people than these ones. They're more alert than these ones. Maybe if you stab their friends in their backs while they're looking, they're not going to bother you, so. It's the ones that stand done.
Pretty standard when it comes to upgrade mats, but you'll get a lot of your basic stuff.
I needed to open that in the first place, so it's like...
It's really easy to just pop this out, got blade arrows, and not even worry about getting close.
God, farming these dudes would be a really nice idea.
More guys in the hallway, and then two little rings to get those two. Ooh, almost there.
I feel like I should farm these fuckers.
Probably wondering how we're going to actually use that miracle.
Hypothetically, I could use my ring that increases item discovered because these things drop good materials. Like, if I go to my materials right now, I have, like, abundance of, like, all these materials that got dropped off of fucking that enemy.
So, we're going to be going down and killing more guys, but before we do that, I'm going to take out this guy. So, same as before. Just snap this guy.
Oof, no. Not ready for that.
And then as you cross this, left side, this block is going to break. At the official slots, we're going to need 4 pieces of the officials here to get one of the achievements and one of the merchants a little bit later. And then we'll go on down. Here.
I missed a corpse.
So click on item discovery ring. It's pretty common for these guys to drop some of the upgrade mats, so just boost that up a little bit.
I thought of that before his ass, dude. I have a great fucking bow.
Alright, good there. So drop on down. This side. And, oh my god, I forgot to. I'm so distracted by loots, I forgot to deliver. It's okay, I can just run back up real fast. It's just going to open the area above for us. So, just going to bring on back. I love the improved visibility and zooms of this remake.
I have no problem with it. Just, I prefer the old.
Okay, one last shiny for the fog. Now we got some salamanders. These guys will try and jump off the wall and hit you. Easiest thing is to just snipe them all up on the wall. And then you can snipe them on down, or you can fight your way through. It's whatever you prefer. Don't worry about the guys up there. Don't go up that way just yet. Instead, we're going to go over here. So there's a bunch of these send a couple things back to storage here, just to help with my inventory space.
That helped a lot, actually.
The ones down in the pit, don't worry about them. I mean, you can kill them, but you can't get anything down there anyway. So let's see, Salamander, we'll continue forward. We're going to have all of these guys. Just run up and fight them, or you can go ahead and snipe them whenever you're more comfortable. Unfortunately, we are able to do that here.
Get the rare ones. Holy fuck. Doing that with the item discovery ring is just like nuts. I should have probably watched the videos in case that was gonna be there. I left the Ragdoll. It definitely made the Ragdoll physics better. Fuck that! Okay, now I have my heavy arrows active. Actually... I don't want to have an abundance of shit, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. Permanently. This is what I'm gonna stick with until I can buy those. I buy the hell, but I buy the dozens. Till then, I do not need that. Well. Did I just perform a backstab blind, essentially? I think I just did a backstab basically blind. That ain't safe. What am I, trying to die? I don't want to answer that one. The only reason this game is going to be hard for me is because of the fucking... You know what? Didn't I expect to get a heavy shield this fucking early? Oh yeah, I remember now. This is the place you get that shield. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Oof, I'm not too happy about that one. Holy. Oh, fucking great. Okay. Good. That bullshit is ended. Good thing I didn't try to fucking get anything from there then. Oh, it looks like someone has the deluxe as well.
The elevator a little fast to grab this. That's okay. This elevator was right near the very start, so after activating it, it doesn't matter if we die right there. It'll just walk back over to it. So let's just get grounded.
He is the blacksmith I can make boss weapons out of. There is one boss that's coming up that I do want to make a weapon out of. And that is the giant spider. I want to make its bow.
This blacksmith, when we have the blacksmith back in Nexus, he will only do the most basic upgrades, whereas this blacksmith can modify weapons that already have been enchanted. So like the crushing battle axe, we could upgrade that here. The falchion, we could upgrade that here. Now, obviously, we don't have materials for those, but that doesn't change the factors. But anyway, go ahead and upgrade your bow as much as you can, and we are 2 large short getting to +7. Okay. We'll get those over in this area. There's still more guys in bags that we can hit. Alright, wrap this back on up. The last episode, we leveled off trying to fit all the Chinese stuff in. It's very slow up. Now, while some of these ones will respawn, you'll notice the ones that have the bags that are just called loot pinatas, they will not respawn, unfortunately. So keep that in mind.